That's a thing. That sounds
So
right.
far, so good.
So far, so good. In this episode of Fictional Hangover, we discuss Romancing the Werewolf by Gail Carriger. Yay! Hey, everybody, welcome to Fictional Hangover, a podcast about books that is full of spoilers. Every week, we discuss a different book in way too much juicy detail. I'm Amanda.
And I'm SuperFan Annie.
And
SuperFan
I'm
Annie!
Claire. Way!
You may
And
have jumped.
today we're going to discuss Romancing the Werewolf by Gail Carriger with Annie. Super fan
Yay!
in so many ways.
Yay! Yay! Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
We are
Stan
ready.
Standard disclaimer. If you haven't read this book, please remember that Fictional Hangover is all about spoilers. If you haven't read or listened and don't want to be spoiled, stop listening to us and go read or listen to the book. Then come back. If you haven't done this but want to pretend that you have, or if you don't care about spoilers, or if you just like the show so much that you don't care about any of that, then listen up.
Oh, oh, oh.
Yay! Oh, but it's our last
Spoiler.
episode of 2025.
It
What is
is.
time?
It's Twixmas.
It is
Weird.
weird. Everything's weird. Everything's
Mm-hmm.
weird right now.
I keep having to say it's Sunday today, you know? Of day recording.
It is. And it is. But nobody knows what actual day it is because like Annie said, it's Twixtmas. It's that
It's
weird
Twixmas.
time.
And there's that meme that's like it's stick people, December 1st to the 25th. It's a stick figure with a Santa hat and it's like festive. And from the 26th on, it's like full of cheese and don't know what day it is. Oh, yeah.
I have entered goblin mode. Full goblin mode has been embraced.
It's fantastic.
I feel like I've eaten and drinking all the things.
Well, I have some background info about this
Give,
book
give.
that I got from Miss Gale's website from November 8th, 2017. Again, what is time? She says she's a sucker for sidekicks. That's the title of this blog post, Sucker for Sidekicks, Biffy and Lyle and so many more. And this was posted a little bit after Romancing the Werewolf hit the world. So she thought it was time for us to know why she felt compelled to write this story and its characters. And she says, I have this problem, gentle reader. I fall in love with my second string characters. It's not that I don't like the heroes and heroines, but there's just something about the supporting actors that is terribly hard to resist. I have this difficulty in movies as well, and other people's books. Let's call this little foible of mine an obsession with sidekicks. So that's amazing. She's obsessed with sidekicks, and that's why we got this fantastic story.
Love that.
We needed this story.
We did. We did need this story.
That might be my initial thought, actually. We needed this story. That and it's my favourite and most listened to of Miss Gale's novellas.
Yeah, me too. I start with it. It is my first read every Christmas because it's just the right. It's not a ton of Christmassy, but it's just enough. And it's just perfection. And I love it. And it's Biffy. That's my initial thought. It's Biffy.
It's
Biffy.
Biffy.
It's
Mm,
Biffy.
my initial thought was this was the first time I read this one.
Oh.
I know,
And
but
did you
it will.
go, if it's Biffy?
I did. It's Biffy. This one, it will not be the last time I read this one though. There was another one that I probably won't pick up again, but not this one. Also, I
This is
bought
a
the
good.
audiobook. So now
Ooh,
I have that, and it's
all
fantastic.
in.
Yes.
It is. We let us not mention that horrible time the audiobook didn't do Biffy good. Didn't do Biffy's voice right.
No.
Yeah, this one is perfection. It's
This one,
just
it is. It really is.
it's like if we got it all right, all the yes.
Yeah.
I'm jumping
Yeah.
ahead, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. And my other initial thought is always Miss Gail should write more holiday books. But I always have thoughts on what I would love for Miss Gail to write, and I don't think she has enough time or energy to write all the things that Annie wants.
I've just got this image of you like pulling out this rolled up piece of parchment and going, I have a few suggestions, and then whoosh, it just rolls on and keeps going, and it doesn't stop.
But I am excited that she's writing another one right now that's I think in the same time period. So
Well,
from
it's
her
one of the
hint.
pack.
Yeah, it's one of the packs. So I'm
but which
excited.
one of the pack?
She has given hints as to which one it is.
And I still have a little trouble identifying all the pack members, keeping them straight in my head. Although they do there's a really good description of all of them in this book, but just it's the obsession with Biffy is what the problem is that I have trouble getting the rest of them.
Right. You can't focus on anyone else because
he's the one that appears most often, him and Channing. And when you've got Channing of the Chesterfield Channings, who has also had his own book, it's like, well, the other ones kind of fade into the background, unfortunately. So it'll be nice to. This is probably the one where most of the pack appears most frequently and are named characters and have personality, and we are jumping into the discussion. So let's go into the summary.
We should do the summary.
I'm going to shut up and Amanda, start us off.
April 1876. After the fight with Lady King-Air in Timeless, we know that two of our favorite werewolves, Beta to the pack Lyle, and at this current time, tiny baby werewolf Biffy, shared a bed. And we all swooned a little bit. When they awoke, they shared much more, Biffy gently taking control because he somehow knew that's what the Beta needed. They then discussed Lyle leaving the London pack for Lady King-Air's for a time because it was the right thing to do. And Lyle always does what's right.
Does he, though? Does he? There's some questionable decisions whether the means meet the ends, but anywho. December 1895, it's only been a handful of months since Biffy has taken over leadership of the London pack from Lord Macon. New in his position as Alpha, Biffy has decided it's time to move the London house away from their next-door neighbour, his former lover, and everything else that a vampire was to him, Lord Akeldama. Biffy is in the midst of selecting new curtains and wants them to be purple, but the rest of the wolves say that purple is a vampire colour, which is just ridiculous. He knows his Beta would have supported him in his purple decision, but he's still away and Biffy misses him, both romantically, even though that only happened the one time, and supportively. He chooses the purple curtains because he is Alpha and he knows best. He knows fashion and style and elegance.
Biffy goes next door for probably the final time to say goodbye to Lord Akeldama. And in what comes as a surprise to Biffy, the vampire already knows they are moving and is wholly supportive of the idea. The supernatural set needs to extend past their one corner of London, and there will be more opportunities for Biffy to gain more clavigers near the theater. The vampire soon becomes busy with the acquisition of 2 new kittens, and so Biffy leaves his former love, his former drone life, his former dreams officially behind after he has a pink slurp.
After he has a pink slurp and there's kittens running around like crazy.
And there's kittens.
Kittens and pink slurps.
Professor Lyle finally returns to London after some 20 years. He meant to return right after Biffy became Alpha, but he still had a few duties to attend to. I don't know if I can contain the swooning right now. New beta. Phineas, aka Soap, aka my favorite character in all of this universe, has securely been installed with the King Air Pack, along with his partner, the Wicker Chicken. I really appreciate
Yay!
this moment because Lyle's like, I don't even know the name of the Wicker Chicken, and it's probs for the best that I don't, because who knows what's going to happen.
It's always wonderful when you get to play Spot the Wicker Chicken in a
Yes.
Miscat book.
Yes. Lyle wonders what the Dewan will do without his prize intelligencers, but he's got more pressing matters to attend to. He cannot smell his pack. Where did they go? Did Biffy fail? Are they all dead? There's a little bit of drama happening right now. Lyle visits Lord Akeldama, and the drama intensifies and learns that they have moved to Greenwich, but doesn't say where. But he gives a clue as to where Biffy might be so close to Christmas.
Obviously, Biffy is at Chapeau de Poop, his lovely hat shop that once belonged to our favourite pants-wearing lady scientist. Even though he is alpha now, he still maintains his shop, makes his hats, and even sells them. They're just that good. They're just that good as to defy all sense of propriety. As Biffy is helping a young lady, a werewolf enters, but not one he is familiar with by scent. When he finally realizes who it is beneath the smell of sands and the slightly longer hair, he almost loses it and feels a claim in his head. Mine. It's Lyle! Finally!
Finally!
Make with the kissing. Start with the kissing.
I love this so much. And I really, really needed to visit Chateau de Poop and get me a top hat to wear with my festive New Year's Eve jammies here.
You're really missing the top hat, Annie. We need to
I'm
get
really
you.
missing the top hat. I'm thinking a hot pink one would look lovely with this. Byall.
You put them together.
That's their ship name. Yeah,
that's their ship name.
Yeah.
Byall.
Oh, we could do better than that. We could do better than that.
So bad. That's too bad. No. Liffy? I don't know. Even better. Okay.
We'll revisit.
Back to the summary. Biffy and Lyle take a carriage to the new pack house. Along the way, they begin to discuss what Lyle missed during his time with the King Air Pack. Gamma werewolf Channing of the Chesterfield Channings challenged Biffy for alpha and failed, obviously. But he is now the new head of BUR, installed there by Biffy and the Queen. She also provided the estate they now have at a very reasonable price. Excuse me. Things were a little shaky during the transition. Pink slurp needed. Oh, goodness. Choky. Okay, where was I? She also provided the estate they now have at a very reasonable price. Things were a little shaky during the transition of alphas, as things weren't so great with Lord McCon at the end of his time. And things are still a little shaky now. But with the new house and now with Lyle back, things should start to get better, right?
Yes. Yes. Unfortunately, when they arrive at the house, nuts, things are not better. Everyone is in an uproar. Of the pack, Adelphus, Quinn, Phelan, Hemming, Rafe, Ulrich, and Zev were there. Channing of the Chesterfield Channings was likely still at BUR, and they were all in a kerfuffle. And one of them seemed to be squealing like a tea kettle. Oh, wait. No. That's a baby? There's a surprise baby now? All the werewolves and the Clavigers fuss around trying to decide what to do with the baby and what it needs and how to care for it. Biffy steps in, hoists the baby to his shoulder, and gives him a little pat, causing him to spit up his dinner all over the Alpha's nice jacket. And then, oh no, He has to strip out of it. Oh, gains some longing looks from Lyle. The baby, which they decide to call Robin because of the Christmas season, calms, and they eventually find a nice hat box to put him in as a bassinet. Everything and everyone settles. And then they realize that their beta is finally home. Yay!
Yay, the beta's home! Biffy sends a few of his werewolves out to the local church to see if they might know who this baby belongs to, and to the workhouse in search of a wet nurse. They don't find out about the baby, but they do learn that there's another pastor in town that is causing trouble, so they'll need to investigate. They do acquire a wet nurse, Mrs. Wybrew, and she has her own baby daughter with her. After a slight faux pas, Mrs. Wybrew, thinking Biffy is too pretty to be alpha, she and the baby settle in nicely too. Everything taken care of for the night, Lyle goes to his room right next to Biffy's. He wonders about being so close since Biffy has shown no romantic interest in him since he's returned. If only they knew about all their pining for one another, of which there has been a whole heck of a lot.
The
Oh,
pining!
the pining!
The
Pining.
There's a lot of pining to be done in 20 years.
So much
But-
pining.
This is where we appreciate that it's a novella because you don't have to pine as long.
That's true.
Like if it's a 500-page book.
There would be so much pining if it was a full
There would
novel.
be so
Oh,
much.
imagine if it was a multiple series book. Oh, no, no.
It's the perfect amount of pining.
The next day, James, Biffy's claviger, attempts to dress the alpha in an outfit most unbecoming. And when Biffy suggests a different outfit, James admits to being flustered because another baby has been delivered. After the poor cravat time, Biffy
Disgusting.
tries to be nicer to the claviger and sends him on his way. He heads out of his room, and being brave, he is alpha after all, knocks on Lyle's door. Lyle's getting dressed, sans claviger, and so Biffy offers to tie his cravat for him.
Where's my fan? Where's
Sexy
my fan?
time.
Get really close.
I forgot my
really
fan
close.
Amanda gave me. It's in my other room. I need it.
Oh, I've got one.
We got lost. We got lost. They're very, very close. And Biffy worries about putting strain on their non-relationship. He doesn't want them to be together, fearing his alpha influence. So instead, he just sexily ties the cravat. And they go deal with a new baby delivery, which has interrupted their meal.
This baby, a girl, is slightly older, more a toddler than an infant, and runs out into the hallway just as Channing of the Chesterfield Channings is heading toward the door. Biffy hesitates as the little one grasps the haughty Gamma werewolf's trousers, preparing to shift to protect the child if need be. This is unnecessary, as Channing of the Chesterfield Channings looks down at the toddler, strokes her little red curls, and goes about his business. Meanwhile, I am swooning because we read these books out of order and we know why Channing is feeling the way he's feeling. Oh! Biffy, probably puzzled a little bit, suggests that Mrs. Wybrew keep the little ones away from Channing of the Chesterfield Channings and out of the hallways altogether.
He's the one who is probably the most qualified to deal with the children out of all the werewolves.
Well, Biffy did have many siblings.
That's true. That is, I mean, okay, we'll allow it, but still, don't underestimate Channing.
I
think
know.
Channing of the Chesterfield Channings is underestimated a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah, I love Channing of the Chesterfield Channings. I love him so much.
I have a thought about this, but I'll save it for the discussion.
Cool. Well, let's go to breakfast, where all the werewolves break into chatter about needing to decorate the Christmas tree. So, we're needing to decorate for Christmas with a tree a Yule log, evergreen burrs, cider, and even wassail. Wassail? Wassail? What is that?
It's a
I don't even know what
delicious
it is.
beverage. It's like
Is
cider.
it?
Their conversation is very accurate, I think, at this point. Because they're
Yes, yeah.
discussing cider at the same time. And they're like, isn't that the same thing?
It's
It
also very close. It's
Very
is it
close.
close.
mulled cider? I
I
don't
guess
like mulling.
I think probably you would call it mold because that's the same spices that are normally used, I think.
Yeah.
I
Gross.
mean, and it's also kind of like
Gross.
glue wine would be kind of similar, I think too.
Either way, it's
I don't
gross.
know. Yeah.
I don't like mulling. Anyways, they've also got the wee nippers, of course. Always everything for the children. Biffy suggests not going so overboard as it's not quite Christmas yet, and everyone seems satisfied. Then he sets them on tasks to find the children's parents, even though they all just want to keep them. That's ridiculous, though. Stop it. The wolves all split up to begin their search.
Lyle sets off alone in wolf form to use his superior snoot to sniff out a trail. He follows Robin's scent, but it only goes a little ways, which probably means he was dropped off from a carriage. Rosie, the toddler, he tracks to an empty warehouse, which he and Biffy go and check on after a fruitless chat with the townsfolk. The werewolf has a strange sort of a stage at one end and smells overwhelmingly of vinegar. Ew. They can tell that people have been coming and going frequently, but they don't know why. Biffy reluctantly says he'll set a claviger to watch out during the day, and his reluctance leads to a serious conversation that he has been worried about. He worries. Our
He
Biffy
does.
worries.
Our Biffy, he worries quite a bit. Can you, Annie, please say the warehouse has a stage at one
The,
end because you said the werewolf?
the werewolf. I can do that. I can. The warehouse has a sort of stage at one end and smells overwhelmingly of vinegar. They can tell that people have been coming and going frequently, but they don't know why. Biffy reluctantly says he'll set a claviger to watch out during the day, and his reluctance leads to a serious conversation that he has been worried about.
Because he's a worrier.
He's a warrior.
He
Our
is a
Biffy is a
warrior.
warrior.
Poor
He's
thing.
constantly worrying. And pining.
Pining.
Not
Some
anymore, though. Well, pining
worrying
still. Yeah, no,
and
he's
some
pining.
pining.
Yeah,
Some.
pining is reduced because at least Lyle's home now,
Yes.
but there's still pining.
There is some pining.
Yes, yes.
When they get back to the pack house, everyone's still out searching. Biffy and Lyle go to Biffy's room. Hold on, my fan. Oh. They're both feeling feelings about this, but neither says anything. And instead, Lyle listens to his alpha's troubles. Biffy has lost several clavigers and is afraid that he will lose the pack as well because he doesn't think he's a good alpha, or he doesn't look the way a good alpha should. Lyle tries to comfort him in a friendly way, and says that packs are tethered to each other, not just to the alpha and not to a place. Clavigers are not pack, so they're not tethered and often come and go in times of transition. He goes on to talk of trust, which leads Biffy to realize that he needs to change the curtains. The two of them then spoon together on the settee as friends. I don't think you can
You
spoon
can't
as
spoon
friends.
as friends, can you?
Spoons are not friendly. I don't think so.
I don't generally spoon with my friends.
I
No.
don't know. No.
It's spooning.
No.
That's a friends with benefits kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, they want each other to think that they're friend spooning, and then they companionably doze off. I don't want friend spooning to become a thing.
No. No. No.
No, I don't want to spoon with my friends. I love my friends, but I don't want to spoon with them.
No.
Anywho, Biffy wakes from this friend spooning, and moves them both to the bed, again companionably. When he wakes, he sees that Lyle has left the room and learns that another baby has been delivered. This is getting ridiculous.
Too many
The
babies.
Clavicers and several daytime staff made chase and only learned that the carriage that dropped the baby off was headed to the warehouse district. As the pack eats, a couple of them alert the rest at a
Ugh.
American preacher has moved to
Ugh.
the area.
Stop. Gross. Ugh.
Sure that this loud, shouty American will be
Ugh.
anti-supernatural in his leanings, Biffy, Lyle, Rafe, Ulrich, and Adelphus go to investigate. Soon enough, people dressed in their Sunday best begin arriving. When Biffy realizes it is in fact Sunday, he realizes there must be a church meeting and sends Lyle and Rafe in.
What they discover is the service is not what they were expecting. Instead of a rabble-rousing American preacher spouting supernatural hate, they find a rabble-rousing American alpha werewolf spouting supernatural worship. He demands sacrifices that they leave for the local pack, expecting them to be eating them, apparently, and accepting another one during the service. It took a little bit for Lyle to realize the preacher was an alpha because he seems to have bathed in vinegar to hide his smell.
Ugh.
Yuck. Lyle and
No.
Rafe leave to report to Biffy and the others. They heard everything, of course. Now it's time for Biffy to deal with this new pickly alpha.
Ugh.
It's not a good pickle. It's not a
None
good
of this
dill
is.
pickle.
No, it's
No.
eye-watering. Ooh.
Ugh. It's a hairy American pickle.
Ew, ew,
Ugh.
ew.
Nobody needs that.
Nobody needs a hairy American pickle.
Mm-mm.
Biffy tries to duel only with words and get the American alpha named Thaddeus Monday.
So American.
It's horrible. Oh, we want to get him to submit or leave, but being an obnoxious American, Monday instead insults Biffy's size and dandiness.
Rude.
How dare he?
Rudery.
Ugh.
Sir, this will not stand.
They discuss his leaving of babies on their doorstep, and Monday implies that they were not sacrifices, they were a challenge. A very old, improper form of challenge by non-American standards, but it was indeed a challenge, and Biffy accepts. He strips out of his suit, leaving only his shirt, which rips away when he transforms, and his top hat, which remains perched on his wolf head. I love it so much. Monday's transformation is much less impressive than Biffy's. He struggles and howls and shreds his clothes, all except for his ugly, ugly waistcoat. Now the duel begins.
Wow. Can't do it right. It's not much of a duel as well. The American werewolf charges over and over Biffy, and Biffy easily dodges over and over, effortlessly scraping Monday with his claws at each pass. Lyle wants Biffy to end it, and he does. Again, effortlessly. He flips the American over onto his back and clamps down on his throat. He refuses to submit, though, so Biffy quickly finishes the fight, breaking the wolf's neck. Lyle invites the few churchgoers who somehow remain to join them the next night, wherein they would teach them properly about werewolves and hopefully return the babies to the rightful owners. Back at home, Biffy goes right to bed, feeling a little queasy, but not telling anyone. Lyle knows, though, and brings up tea and biscuits.
Always knows. Lyle always knows. In
Always
this
knows.
moment of tenderness, Biffy asks Lyle essentially if it is inappropriate for them to be together because he is an alpha and Lyle is a beta. Lyle, being 400 plus years old, knows a lot about werewolf traditions and customs that Biffy, in his only 20 plus years, does not know. Lyle assures him that it isn't done often, but it's not but it is not forbidden as long as there is mutual respect. Biffy shares that he was not with anyone else in their time apart and doesn't want to know about Lyle, but we can assume that he is the same. They finally come together and feel their tethers snap perfectly into place, stronger than ever before, even for Lyle, who has been a beta for a very, very, very long time.
Things wrap up nicely after this. Lyle moves into Biffy's room, and only Channing of the Chesterfield Channings has anything to say about it, and mostly he just says about bloody time. They deal with the churchgoers as well, instructing them that werewolves do not prefer baby sacrifices, as babies are too fatty to be good for eating, and instead act out a scene where Ulrich brings a sacrifice of a squash to a dapper Channing of the Chesterfield Channings werewolf. He eats the squash and then leaves about his business. Everything is well and good after that. Maybe not the squash.
R.I.P. the squash.
R.I.P. squash, you're right. Oh, oh,
Aww. Yeah, they're
no.
cute. Yeah, they're cute.
So cute.
So good. So good.
Okay, we'll take a break for just a moment and stick something in this space.
We'll have a swoon.
We will have a swoon.
Have a
We'll have
swoon.
many swoons.
We'll have a swoon.
My first swoon. Surprise soap.
I love that so much. Just like, oh, and there's the wicker chicken.
There's the wicker chicken. There's Soap. He's a beta. He's perfect in all ways.
And he's gonna be such the perfect beta for Lady King Air, who is quite the handful. And
yes,
he can handle it.
He can handle it. And also they were friends.
They were friends. Yes, they were.
They were friends when they were children. So it's just perfect.
It's just full circle, and it's so lovely.
And I want more stories about that.
Yes, I need more Soap. Look, I love Sophronia. I love her. And I love Wicker Chicken, but I appreciate that we never really know what she's up to, because if we did know, then she wouldn't be a very good intelligencer.
Yeah, she wouldn't be the Wicker Chicken.
No, so it's probably for the best that we don't know what she's up to, but man, I need some more Soap in my life.
We could easily go to the King Air Park and have some stories from there. They don't have to be around about the Wicked Chicken. The Wicked Chicken just, she's passing through on the way to doing another job or doing something else. Or, I mean, at this point, she's probably in command of hundreds of other intelligences.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she could be hanging out with, Agatha.
Uh-huh.
Is it Agatha? Oh, which book was it that we learned? Oh, no, it wasn't Agatha. It was Dimity, that Soap and Sophronia have a little cottage there for a while. So
yeah, they could be there.
Maybe she's at the cottage.
Maybe. Or, I mean, how much time has passed now? How old is Sophronia at this point? Which is very sad if you start to think about it.
It is. Because in that Meet Cute, when she brushes the powder out of her hair, not all of the gray disappears. So that doesn't, because it's Miss Gail, and she doesn't like to dwell too much on sad things. So, which I love about her, because sad things. But yeah, we don't discuss that much about the fact that one is supernatural and one is human and will die much younger. So we don't like to think
it's not too bad though. I've just checked, and the finishing school's set around the 1850s. So if this is in the 1890s, she's only in her 50s, coming up to our 60s.
Not
Yeah,
that old. Trust me. Not that.
not.
Not
Yeah,
that old, especially for Sophronia.
right.
Oh yeah. She's been, staying in shape,
Soaps,
climbing things and anything.
Climbing
Yeah.
climbing the soaps.
climbing the soaps.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Oh.
And there's nothing wrong with a lady of a certain age having a strapping young gentleman as a companion.
Especially when that strapping young gentleman is Soap.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine to swoon after soap. It really is. Hmm. I also love the Channing of the Chesterfield Channing's bits because, like I said during the summary, we read these books out of order because this one is Christmas and it didn't quite line up with the way we were recording. But we know that Channing had a tiny baby daughter and horrible things happened. So it's just nice to see him having a small bit of emotion about a child, but no one else knows, and everyone else is just dismissive of him, which I think is
And
by
I
design.
I think if I remember correctly, because it's been a lot of years, that when I read this was the first time you saw Channing really have I mean, you'd seen a little bit of him and Lyle talking at the end of Parasol Protectorate, and that, basically they're friends. But to really see Channing have an emotion, and you
Mm.
and you saw he could be nice in Romancing the Inventor, but this was like a moment where you went, oh,
It's
he's
just showing a softer side.
showing a
He's
softer side.
I would dispute that Channing of the Chesterfield Channings emotes a lot. It's just usually aggressive and assertive and often pig-minded and angry.
He's a grumpy emoter.
He's grumpy. He's very,
Yes.
very grumpy. This is the first time we ever actually see a softer side. But you also remember Lyle knows. Lyle knows all about Channing of the Chesterfield Channing's background. They've known each other for so freaking long. And
Hmm.
there's a good chance one or two of the other werewolves has some indication. It's just not obviously his background story is not well publicized because he has a facade and persona that he wants to keep up. We don't know. We don't really know much about Channing of the Chesterfield Channings because we don't really follow him about. And the only time we ever did was in his How to Marry a Werewolf. And I mean, considering what he was like in that one, in his own head, or when he's not around the rest of the pack and having to put this facade on, I can imagine him being completely different.
True. I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Just
He
and
he will be nice to servers and retail
yes,
workers.
He
I'll tell
will
you
tip
right
well.
now, Channing of the Chesterfield Channings is nice to service and retail workers.
Yeah, he's a good
yes.
tipper.
Yeah, he's a good tipper and he
He's
says please and thank you. He'll
Hmm.
stack the dishes perfectly.
Yes.
He'll return the tray as he's appropriately supposed to be doing.
the
Yeah, definitely.
shopping cart, or should I say trolley.
Charlie,
Put
thank
it
you.
in the little bin thingy so it doesn't ding your
Right.
car.
He'll
Right.
go in the
He
bay properly and it won't just
Mhm.
be haphazardly shoved in. It will be lined up. He will
yeah,
tidy up the entire of the
he
trolley bay.
will.
He
He
will.
will.
You will. We are sure of this. We're sure.
Definitely.
Because it's all a facade, Channing of the Chesterfield Channings. We see
We see you. Yeah.
you.
Okay. How about what does our British friend think of the American religious cult?
Oh my God, it's hilarious. It's so OTT stereotypical American, which for me is hilarious as a Brit reading it because it's so abrasive and so like fingernails down a chalkboard, kind
Mm,
of aggressive, angry, horrible
mm.
screechiness. It's just coming over here, preaching that bullshit, fuck off back over the pond, you know?
And it is a realistic interpretation because we've all seen those people on like Sunday morning when you're flipping through the channels and you accidentally land on something and you're like, oh, and they're screaming and hollering and carrying on and
Yeah.
I know we have aggressive evangelicals in this country. There will be. I couldn't name any of them. I don't know any of them. They're certainly not given a TV platform that I know about. It's not like in America, which I know, you have specific channels for them, and there's some very well-known ones that finance the Republican Party and all that kind of bullshit. Ugh. And there's the super churches and all this. There's none of that here that I have any awareness of. And
well,
it just feels like so stereotypical, just so, of course, you're coming over here and you're doing this. And Biffy and Lyle and all of them are like dapperly dressed, very smart, full of manners, and just like, oh no. Oh no.
And wouldn't they have a problem doing the mega church thing there because the price of property in the UK is probably a lot more than, say, Oklahoma. You can build a mega church in Oklahoma because we got land.
Yeah. Same with Arkansas. Mega churches, left, right, and center.
Yep. I mean, the only thing that you could have added in there was some snake handling because that happens too.
That would have been great, but instead we get the fire and brimstone. I can just see him, and I've witnessed this in my life as a human. The yelly, sweaty, red-faced, screaming like Baptist preacher.
I saw one at Aldi's the other day, yelling into his phone. Tried to jump the queue.
Ugh, no.
I ain't got no time for that. The closest I can think about it is in like city centres, generally like around like a monument or something. The Bible bashers come out with the signs about Jesus saving people and abortion rubbish and all that claptrap. With the megaphones and start reading out Bible verses, and everybody just ignores them because nobody cares. We do not. As a nation, we hate Bible bashers. When they come knocking at your door, you're just like, go away, close the door. I've closed the door in so many people's faces doing that. My first driving instructor was a born-again Christian and tried to convert me while I was on a lesson.
Did you just unbuckle your seatbelt and tumble out of the car?
And I would have if we weren't in a junction. I just didn't bother with them anymore. And I changed to a different one who used to play Let's Hit the Cyclist. And she used to go to Red Bull. So much Red Bull. And she used to throw it out the car trying to hit the cyclists. Which, in retrospect, is not a good thing.
No. Good luck. No. Okay, can we talk about Biffy and Lord Akeldama? Was that just not... It was sad, but it was also such a nice closure and full circle moment of, it's time, we're moving on. We're moving on. I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed the flirting because Lord Akeldama always flirts. And I enjoyed the flirting. I enjoyed the cats. That they must match his house. And,
yeah.
So
full decoration for the cats.
I really, really liked that. And I also really, really liked how into decorating for the holidays that the werewolves were. That they were just like, it's for the nippers.
I don't think that
the nippers.
And the audio book that is so great because you can go, it's for the nippers.
The Lord Akeldama thing, I'm very pleased that they kept it. That was in because we needed that closure. Mm-hmm. Biffy needed it. Lord Akeldama needed it, and the readers needed it.
Yeah, I feel like Lord
Um,
Akeldama needed it probably less, as he is very, very, very old.
I
And
don't know, but Biffy was extra special.
Biffy
And
was
the
and is extra
circumstances
special.
are extremely different to what he's probably seen or had in the past. I can't imagine many of his other drawn slash lovers has turned into an alpha werewolf. And
Yeah,
effectively his equal in some respects and his better in the peerage.
And that Biffy knows that's not how um, Lord Akeldama addresses him. That it's not quite right. That he's actually of a higher social standing now, but he is too polite to say that, and he never would, because that would just be like,
If it was a bad breakup,
yeah,
yes. But this is
yes,
not a bad breakup,
not,
you know?
no.
no.
And we, harkening back to when Biffy became a werewolf, and he had so wanted to be a vampire, and Lord Akeldama was so upset that somebody, how dare you steal my drone. um, but he has come to the realization that what has happened, and there's nothing else you can do about it, and you got to move on.
Yeah. I think that's really what I was meaning, since he's seen a lot in his
Yes.
in his millennia, and I think he's better prepared to move on than, say, Biffy was. And it's okay, because then Lyle shows up.
I think it'd be a
Lyle.
curious thing if Biffy had been turned into a vampire, because obviously he's got the access all for transformation into a supernatural, so he would have survived being turned into a vampire as well. That again would have been the end of the relationship between him and Lord Akeldama. They wouldn't have been able to remain together as well. But it goes to prove that as a werewolf, he's alpha. So how would have that translated if he turned into a vampire? He wouldn't be a queen.
No.
He would have
Would,
been
so
a
he would,
loner
would
like
he
Lord
be a
Akeldama.
would he be a rove? Like,
I think
because
he
that's,
would have.
yeah, because, but then you also see that probably wouldn't have been good for him either, because he needs people. He needs more
Biffy is very social, which is why
people.
I think being a werewolf is a better thing for Biffy than being a vampire. As inelegant as his body hair may be, I think
But
it's
he
better for him
has
because he needs the pack.
Yeah.
but he has invented pomade to keep his hair looking a little more dandyish.
And
So
potentially the hat, the top hat's keeping on his head whilst in
Yes.
transform when he's transformed.
Yes.
And I
love that.
also think that the werewolves love, just going back to what you were saying about, being so excited for the wee nippers decorating for Christmas. You can't tell me that the werewolves won't love putting greenery inside the house. They love being outside in nature. They're just
Hmm.
Oh,
bringing it on the inside. So it makes sense that they want to have the holly and the burrow, the garlands and the wreaths and everything everywhere. It'll have been
it does make
perfect.
I appreciate that they are able to express their more fashionable side now, and that some of them are like openly reading fashion magazines. And like, I feel like it's nice that they have an alpha that they can look up to that's different than other alphas that they've had in the past. I think it's,
and it's a changing world, and they're changing with the times.
yes.
That's, I mean, even when Lord Macon was alpha with Alexia. Alexia
Alexia,
had no fashion sense. She didn't care.
no.
She just said, "Put me in the latest fashions," because her soullessness meant she had no fashion sense.
Mhm.
So they can't even say that her influence was there. And you can't turn to Ivy for fashion advice. That's the
No,
last person you look at.
no, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Actively stop it.
I do, and I love that he Biffy still works in the hat shop, and that depending on what he's doing, how he's addressed. I forget the exact wording, but yeah, that for every little job he does and thing he does, he's addressed a different way. But yeah,
Yeah.
and he that his happy spot is there, just putting some ribbons and some bows on some hats. He just like, and he's happy.
I really like the hats shop scene actually when Lyle comes in and he can see Biffy working and Lyle's scent's different, but Biffy can smell them. He's like, oh no, there's an alpha. What's going on? I don't really want to have to fight. And then when he sees Lyle with slightly longer hair and a slightly sandy smell, I'm like, just
Oh,
kiss.
bloody not.
They can't kiss though because of the
No,
pining.
No, they've got to do some pining first. We need some
they got to
pining.
do some pining first. They got to do some pining first. They have to pine.
They have to pine. What about favorite characters? Is it always Biffy?
For
All
me, yeah,
Biffy
it's
all
always
the
Biffy.
time?
All
Always,
Biffy. I mean,
always.
Biffy. He's probably besides. Well, I love so many characters in there. Biffy and Percy are like, and Madame Levy are my favorites. I just
Mm.
love them. They're just and you Biffy would just be so fun to hang out with because he would tell you you really need to like update your look, honey, and that's not a good look for you anymore. Maybe
Yeah.
change, but here, let's do it this way. And he would just he's just Biffy. And I love his gossipy side. That's one of my all-time favorite quotes from I think it's timeless, where he says, "I don't gossip, I observe, and then I go tell everyone." That's
Yeah.
yeah. He would have all the latest dirt. You would learn so much hanging out with Biffy. So always
I would
Biffy.
love to
Yes.
be in a book club with Biffy. You know, the like traditional sense of book club where people they say they read the book, but they don't read the book. Whereas our book club, we do read the book, but
We
they
do read.
just end up drinking wine and talking and chatting and gossiping.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say the pack because I try to avoid the main characters because obviously the main characters tend to
Right.
be the best.
Yes.
True.
But I'm going to say like all of the supporting characters.
Oh, the sidekicks.
The
Side.
sidekicks. So I'm going to say the rest of the pack. It was lovely to see them more, get to know some of them a bit more. It was nice for them to like have. It was nice to see how they're not quite gelled with Biffy yet as Alpha, and then actually no, they are fully on board with Biffy being Alpha, and
Mhm.
that they can embrace, like you were saying a little bit ago, Amanda, that the rest of the pack are embracing hobbies and interests and things, and they've got that little bit more freedom, and they're realizing actually Biffy is giving them a lot of room to be themselves and not conform to the werewolf stereotype.
Yeah.
Um, and it was just nice to have that have the personalities come out and put more names to the good doggos.
Yes.
And that they because we've seen Biffy as that first time as the drone, and the dandy drone, and he was there from the get-go in the background. And then we've seen him when he struggled so hard not wanting to be a werewolf and all. So it was nice to see him. He's still struggling, but at the end he's found his way, and he's becoming more sure of himself. And Lyle just is such a good compliment, which your partner in life should be a compliment to you and make you a better person, not a worse one. So
Yes. I love Channing of the Chesterfield Channings. I
he was good in this one.
He's good. He's only in it briefly, passing through, but he's there, and then everyone else around him is like, just can you just leave him out of it? It's better for everyone if you just don't. If you just
Yeah.
don't.
But they all realize that he is their most what's the word I want? He's the most beautiful wolf, the stand out with the white and the ice
Yeah.
blue eyes, and
Yeah.
he's he shows up well. I mean, because
He's
when
the
they need
poster boy, really.
yes,
Yes.
when they need
Yeah.
somebody to come in and savage the squash, he's the one they pick.
Yes.
And the fact that he does come in at the end and he just goes, about bloody time. Because he knows.
Then he
He
knew.
knows. He knew all the
No,
time. I bet he knew 20 years ago.
he knew
Yeah.
20
Smell
years
it.
ago. The
He heard
pining,
it. He walked past
pining.
the bedroom and went, oh, about time. And then there's
Yes.
20 years. And Channing's had to put up with the pining for 20 years.
Can you imagine 20 years of
Who would
pining?
20
Channing?
years of pining is too much pining.
It's too
Yeah.
much. It's too much.
I mean, it's bad for Biffy, but I feel sorry for Channing of the Chesterfield. Channing's putting up with it for 20 years. It's
Well, and probably the rest of the pack, even though they're not maybe as they don't recognize it maybe quite as much as Channing of the Chesterfield Channings would have, because he has some pining as well.
yes.
Yes.
Pine recommends sees Pine.
Yes.
Recognizes
yes.
pine, yes.
Yes. But I think this is a really great story because everything just clicks into place when Lyle comes back, and it's just the perfect way, I think, for us to end our discussion of the Parasolvers.
Yes.
For now.
For
For
now.
Until more
If Miss
books
Gill
come
makes
out.
more.
And that's one thing that Miss Gail succeeds so well at, is she's so good at, is ending a story that,
Mhm.
I mean, like reticence, how everything came together in that one. She's just really good at writing that closing. You know, we'll see more of them, but their story is well, not really done, but they're together. They've got their happy ever after, and we'll see them
Yeah.
in other books and whatnot. We'll see them again.
Yeah.
But she does that so well. I mean,
She really
does everything.
does.
So well,
Yes.
she really does.
What about surprises?
I think I already mentioned mine about the big bad werewolf so into the holiday decoration. I love that. Of that. And I think the first time it's for the nippers. I love that so much. It's on just, you know, I got to listen to the audiobook just for that. Sometimes I read, sometimes I do the audiobook, but I usually at least listen to that section on the audiobook for the nippers. Or I hear it in my head when I read it. And
I would like to say I'm pointing out, it's so delightful how you're like so overwhelmed with joy over the word nippers.
Nippers. It's such a great word. Kerfuffle is another good one. I mean,
Kerfuffle is a good word. Yeah.
It's just standard words.
It's such a good word. I don't know enough people who say kerfuffle. My friend Becky uses kerfuffle, and I think she introduced me to the word kerfuffle. But anyhow, I think when I first read, trying to remember, because what I think I'm like up to like, this was my 6th time reading, because like I said, I read it every December. It's like it's my first holiday book. I think when I first read it, I was surprised that the awful American, and the fact that he was not promoting that he was promoting the worship of werewolves and supernaturals and whatnot. That was surprising, because you expected him to be like all like, oh, they're evil and let's, you know, get rid of them and that sort of thing. But yeah.
But no, he is one, and he's dirty and scraggly and pickly.
And that waistcoat needed to go. It just needed to go.
Yeah.
What's worse, having his waistcoat or being pickly? It's just on the would you rathers.
Equally bad. It's equally bad. I just appreciate that Biffy tore it off of him and tore it to shreds after their fight was over. Ugh, it's disgusting.
That was so good.
It's disgusting. I am surprised that Biffy lost his top hat.
Yes. And you know, I had to go back and look at reread that after notes, because I thought he didn't lose his top. In my mind, he doesn't lose his top hat, but I know it's in the book he does.
Yeah. And
I
he just,
don't think I have any surprises, by the way. I've read this every year since it came out. I couldn't tell you if I was surprised by anything. It's been so long. I'm so old.
What year did it come out?
20,
2016. 2016.
yeah.
So 9 years ago? I may
What is
not.
time?
What is time?
What
And
is this one?
I had much to catch up on because I think when I finally caught up was when Prudence came out. I was waiting on Prudence, but like you, Amanda, I started with The Finishing School because I was reading. I love a chronological read, so this one was probably already there, but I was waiting to get to it in the right order.
Right.
And it's always kind of a little bit tricky because, when I did the great Parasol reread last year, it's very tricky to know where, because this one has to be in December. But it actually, I think timeline wise, kind of falls in between competence and incompetence or somewhere, but it doesn't have any spoilers for that. It's just all that's or vice versa. Because in the Custard Protocol book, whichever one it is, there's a gossipy little letter about things that are happening back in London, but you don't really see anything. So you can read and not be spoiled.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's the problem is because you have to read it in December.
I'll
So
give you the chronology here, Annie, actually. This story is set in the winter of 1895 and follows the events chronicled in Imprudence, but ties romantically with Timeless.
Okay.
I knew it said somewhere what the chronology was.
And so you have to read it in December. So that always means that if you're going to reread all of Miss Gail in a year, December is heavy. There are a lot more books because you have to you got to come in order. I do love me a chronological read. I'm that kind of
I just want to point something out as well. You know how we already said that the audiobook is beautiful. Yes. How beautiful is the cover? How snatched is his waist? This proves why men should also corset.
Yes, definitely.
And the detail.
I don't like his ponytail.
No.
His ponytail is not in the right spot. Like I appreciate a man with a ponytail because my husband has long hair and often pulls it back. But that ponytail is not in the right spot. It doesn't look right. It makes the tail look flat. And I don't like that.
Would you want it more up or lower?
Probably a little lower, I think, would be better. Yeah. It needs a ribbon in it.
Yes.
It's got to have like the leather queue thing, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like that. And also the detail, because there is the mantle, and we have holly and greens on it. This cover just, other than ponytail placement, the detail and the detail on the that is some high quality corset stuff. We didn't get that corset off Amazon.
No,
that one was custom.
No,
that's some gorgeous work.
Apart from the Finishing School shorts, I'm just having a quick look at the covers. I think it's the best novella cover.
Yeah.
It's a very good cover. Yeah.
Cover. It's a very good cover.
Minus the ponytail.
Minus the ponytail. If the only fault we can give is ponytail.
Yeah. It just needs, it's not handsome enough for
and it's too
Lyle.
modern.
Yeah, it needs the ribbon or the leather or something, and it needs to have a curl. Biffy just hasn't gotten to repair the ponytail yet.
Biffy, we had to get back together first.
Right. And then he's like, let me fix your ponytail, darling, because
yes, like that joke about, the guy says to his friend, you're dressing a lot better. How long have you been going out? Because, a woman has got a hold of you and straightened you out, or somebody's got a hold of you and straightened you out because your style was awful before. So, he needs a little ponytail. He needs like either leather or red to match his his waistcoat there, and
His ponytail accoutrement will match his outfit in the future.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Interestingly, that this one did. I wonder what the reasoning is behind some of the books get a different cover in the UK than from the US, but like this one, I think is the same in both. I
Yeah.
wonder what the reason, what thought
Probably
process.
because it was perfection.
Yeah, true.
I think it
Like,
depends on potentially who the publisher is as well, because this is a Miss Gail publication. It's Gail Carriger LLC. The other ones might
Yes.
be different.
Yep. I could
But
just read it again.
even then, I'm looking at like, was it Reticence? The covers are very similar. Like
yeah.
the man is mildly different.
As Annie turns to her Gail character. Well, actually, it's turning into a shelf and a half. But yes, they're
Yeah.
they're they're fairly the same. And then oh, I think the one that because see, she's got the same sort of corsetry with that just well made. We
Mhm.
admire that. And this one you
Mhm.
can't see that. So
Yeah.
you know me, I could fangirl for hours about Miss Gale. I fangirled about Miss Gale last night at the Twixmas party, and somebody wrote down the name of the book and was going to read it. So proud.
Oh, very nice.
Well done.
So proud. He's like, I think he says, I've read Soulless, and I'm like, oh, you need to read more of them. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You've only just begun. You've
Do
only
better.
just
And
begun.
I always tell people, I always say that if you talk to me for 5 minutes, you will find out that I know that I love Jane Austen and Gail Carriger. Those are my two.
There's no tells behind you at all. Couldn't pick up that.
No.
No. What are you talking about?
Subtle. So subtle.
Yeah.
Be any tells back there. No.
Should we move on to favorite final thought quote?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna go
Annie, why
first
don't
because it's
you?
me.
Oh,
Claire wants to go first.
I'm gonna go
Let Claire.
first.
I was
No,
gonna
no,
let
no.
Annie go first because she's
Oh,
our
well, Annie go
guest.
first. Fine, well, Annie go first. Annie, go first.
I passed to Claire. I passed to Claire. She has strong feelings. She needs to go first.
I do, because we need to play real life old book. But I missed good British brew.
I had a good British brew this morning. PG tips.
I did, and then the floor had it. I've only got two. The pack was flapping about a discombobulated manner like a flock of starving pigeons that had just been thrown a scattering of highly desirable bread scraps. Go to any city centre in the UK and you'll find those bloody pigeons.
Discombobulated. That's another good word.
That's another good word. Yeah. Yeah.
Discombobulated.
Mm.
I could probably, way too many. So I picked three that went with my standout moments. Although I did forget the nippers, but
The nippers, Annie, the nippers.
The nippers. That would probably be my best one. But
the more you keep saying nippers, the more I keep thinking you're saying nipples. Just saying, just putting it out there. Might be the accent.
That might be the accent. It might be the oaky twang getting in the way. I can't be seen to have more than one cat. It simply isn't done. It's too much. It's too eccentric in a vampire. If only he didn't shoot first in the firing squad of premier pompous twats. Twats is another good word. We don't use near enough in the States.
Yes.
It's twats.
Twats. You read that. You read that one, Clary. It would sound so much better if you
pompous twats.
And apparently the idea of holiday celebrations cheered up everyone, even werewolves. So, holiday, little holiday greenery cheers cheers the house right up.
So nice. So nice.
Forget that twats of Britishism as well.
Oh, okay. An American werewolf in Greenwich preaching the gospel of supernatural worship and infant sacrifice? Exactly what I always wanted for Christmas.
Book or real life? Book or real
Ugh. Now, I shall have to beat him to a pulp without losing my hat on principle. But then he
Book
did.
or real life? Book or
Which
real
one?
life?
Which one? Which one? I also appreciate good. Are we agreed then? No eating babies?
Yeah, but they have,
It has to be said out loud.
No eating babies?
they have a little pack meeting.
Right?
We're all
About
agreed on
eating
that.
babies.
So we're not going to eat the babies, is what we're hearing here. Is what we're
We're not
deciding.
If you fry them enough with salt and pepper and a bit of chili powder, I'm sure they'd be very nice.
I do appreciate that they're like, eat babies? What a preposterous notion. They're almost entirely made of fat. Like, they're quite it's quite detrimental to the digestion, not to mention the waistline. They're very conscientious.
The fact the werewolves, they're not going to put weight on.
But also that, they're werewolves, that a bloody steak is their idea behind all time. So, but they're no.
They won't eat people babies, but they'll eat pickled lamb's calves.
They will. They will indeed.
Looking at you, Lord Macon. Looking at you.
Looking at you. Yes. And didn't we have a mention too of Professor Lyle? Because he's Professor Lyle, everybody always turns to him, and reality is he's a professor of sheep.
Yes.
Yes.
Professor of sheep.
Yes.
Fine.
Oh, he'll be able to get his collection back up and running now that he's in Blackie.
Oh, yeah. Okay, is it time? Is it time?
Okay, we asked a very important question on social media. Purple curtains or blue curtains? On Facebook, on the Fictional Hangover page, 60% said purple, and on the book club, 60% said blue. So I feels even really. And on Instagram, it was 100% to blue curtains. Constance says, personally, I would go with purple, but I choose blue just because my current curtains are blue, and I will show solidarity. This surprised me because we know Constance's favourite colour is purple.
Yes, her hair is often purple, and so I don't remember her hair ever being blue.
It might have had green. Blue and something.
I remember the mermaid hair.
Yes.
But I don't remember a solid blue. I don't know. I'll have to look back in my Constance Facebook.
Yes.
Well, and my answer was purple is perfection. I love purple. It used to be my favorite color. It's been for a long time.
Coral, Superfan Coral says purple is such fun.
Colin says, whatever colour Claire would like is my choice. I know my place, and it's not to be making important decisions about decorating the house. I can give my opinion, of course, but I'm well aware that if I choose incorrectly, it'll be ignored until such time as I change my mind.
That was the best answer. When I read that, I was like, yes, Sir Colin knows his place.
He once tried to give an opinion on the bridesmaid shoes. I think I just looked at him, and from that moment on, he's known. He knows time and place.
Glim Glam Jen says, I pick purple curtains. Obviously, it's because Bella likes purple, so I must, which I have to say, this is our first Twilight reference in this episode.
It is, but Bella doesn't pick out the purple curtains. the woman at the shop picked them out.
Yeah, but also purple's cool. Purple's cool.
Purple is cool. Anyway. Trina Reed said, well, my favourite colour is blue, so I'd go with them. But I have no eye for fashion like Biffy.
We have a new commenter this time. Ryan Destos says both because favorite colors. Which, because they're a new commenter, we did not immediately tear into them and say there is no option C. You
Yes.
have to choose.
Side note, I did some would you rathers on a Litzy, and there was one person who would always go, I pick neither, and I'm like, I need to explain to you, and you can't do it in a chat thing situation.
No.
It's like, I need to visit with you in person and explain to you how would you rather works. We just
You-
let
When
it
you
go
visit
every
this person, visit them in person, is it with a frying pan so you can
time. It's
doink
like,
them?
no, you must pick one.
You have to choose one of them. That's the point of the game.
Would you rather? Yeah.
It's very frustrating that people don't realise. Would you rather have option A or option B? There's two options. On the occasion, we may give multiple options, but of those presented to you,
Of those two,
pick
of
one.
those ones, which one do you choose? It's not this is the definitive correct answer. Which one do you prefer of these provided?
And to be fair, that drives me crazy when you ask somebody in real life, like, you want to do A or B, and they go, I don't know, I don't care. It's like, oh, just pick one. Just pick one. Something.
Solidarity for Would You Rather rules.
So yeah. There's our newest t-shirt slogan. Solidarity for Would You Rather.
Yes. This one was a difficult one for me to answer because our curtains in our house, in the main level of our house, are a very nice, rich blue color, but our house is indigo. So like we like both. We like both of these, but I think I'm gonna stick with the blue.
I would like a blue if it's like a rich royal blue.
Yes.
I remember somebody told me it's coming back. I don't know. Remember back in the day when you used to get your colors done and you were a winter, a summer, a spring.
Mhm.
I was a winter, and you had, always it was royal blues and reds, and if you were going to do yellow, it had to be bright yellow, not mustard. And if it was going to be green, it has to be a rich emeraldy green, not a mossy green. So I feel that personally, my life, closet, whatnot, doesn't fit with the werewolf colors of mossy greens and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No.
It's not a good look for me. So, and so like the vampire queen that I aspire to be, I'm going with purple.
You are the Queen of Oklahoma, remember?
I am the queen of Oklahoma. That I am.
I'm going with blue, even though I wouldn't have blue curtains in my house. I've recently bought some curtains. They are silver grey. I have orange curtains. I would go for a teal. And I would have gone for a teal blue in the dining room, but my giant bookcase of giantness is in the dining room, and that's teal, so it would have been too. Unless it's a perfect match, it's too much. It's not right.
It wouldn't work unless it was perfect. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
and
I would go for blue, and it would be a teal blue. I
do love that Lord Akeldama was like, what color of purple?
Right.
What color purple?
My bedroom used to be purple. Purple used to be my favorite color when I was a teenager. Now I really like orange.
I have a amethyst ring and amethyst earrings that were my second anniversary gift because I loved purple. And my bridesmaids dresses were purple back in the day. So
I have sapphire rings. And we just keep adding to them, but they're sapphires, so.
I need some sapphires. Would be lovely. So
yeah.
Which also reminds me of Miss Gail's um, the fifth gender, in which the alien is like constantly, I am not purple, I am lavender. There is a difference.
That is one that I haven't read. I have not read that one yet.
It 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 is spicier.
That's probably why.
Well, I mean, you could like skip on past the spicy.
Yeah.
It is spicier, but it is a lovely, adorable storyline, and just he's
I
another
don't
character.
doubt it.
And yeah, it's just you would just have to like, okay, sexy times. Let's just move on past that.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather encounter this question is pointless. We know the answer immediately. Would you rather encounter a religious cult or a werewolf cult? Werewolves. Immediately.
Werewolves.
Hands down. Easy.
Been there, done that with the religious cult. Let's not
No.
we escaped. We escaped
No.
once. We're not going back.
Don't bring it up again. Yeah.
Don't bring it up again. You might want to edit that out. No,
Nope.
just kidding.
Leaving it.
No, leaving it. No, not definitely werewolves. Always werewolves.
Yes.
Yeah. I prefer my Sunday mornings to be spent in my pajamas with a pink slurp. You know.
And that's exactly what werewolves would do.
That's exactly what I'm sure the London Pack is having a pink slurp right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or tomorrow morning. Yeah.
Would you rather maul a lone werewolf or a fanatic preacher?
Fanatic preacher. Get rid
Fanatic
of
preacher.
He's
Get rid of
gone.
Fanatic preacher.
He's gone. And do you know what? If he smells all pickly, so much the better.
Yeah.
Gone, gone, gone.
Gone. Gone. Okay. This next one is it's a difficult question, I believe. Would you rather have Soap or Lyle as your beta?
This is a terrible question.
I
How
know.
could you?
I know.
I'm gonna say Soap because Lyle needs to be Biffy's beta and I'm not taking him away from Biffy again.
Okay.
I say Soap just because it's Soap. It's got to be Soap. I want Soap. I want Soap.
Yeah.
We know yours answer is going to be Soap. You don't even need answers.
What's the point of asking any of these questions? Everyone already knows my responses to all of them.
Yeah. Or just reiterate.
Okay. Would you rather fight as a werewolf whilst wearing your top hat or a waistcoat? And it doesn't have to be a horrible scabby waistcoat. You can have whatever waistcoat you want.
I do love the top hat.
Yeah, I appreciate the dapperness of the top hat.
Maybe a little one. Like with clips. One? Yeah, I've got, like my little one that it has clips on. So at least if I clip it to my hair, then when I transform into a werewolf, it'll still be clipped to the fur and it shouldn't fall off.
Right. What happened in the finishing school? Did he tied his with a ribbon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Under his chin.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I would do.
Option.
Yeah.
But would Biffy put ribbon on his top hat to tie it round? Would that be an aesthetic look he'd be going for, or was that too bonnet-like?
I think he could pull it off.
Oh, he could definitely pull it off.
But I think he wouldn't tie it under his chin. I think he would tie it around the back.
Oh, yes. Much more dramatic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then when it turns into werewolf, it's not going to be in the right position to be secure. You've got to think about these things.
We'll just have to test it out. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you got it tied behind and you get the wind, it's very windy here today.
It'll just topple off. You're right.
It'll come. Yeah. You gotta.
You're right.
Let's get Madame LeFou and Biffy to work it out together.
Yes.
They'll invent something.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
I need
Like
a
a
top hat that will remain during transformation.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a novella that I need in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe
we'll
not
add
a
it to
maybe
the
a short
scroll.
story.
Yeah, I just need some piece of fiction. Doesn't
Yeah.
have to be much.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, just some little, like Jodi Taylor does with the Chronicles of St. Mary. She
Yeah.
writes like just little scenes. That'll be like the great toilet paper thing during the pandemic. It was like 4 pages long, and it was just like, oh, okay, I needed
Yeah.
that. I needed that.
Yeah,
So
it's just
yes,
little
just some
tasters. Little
just a little,
tastes.
like we don't, not a whole novella. But just
I
a
like the
little.
stories where there's nothing much dramatic going on, where it's just pretty very everyday. Because it's just like, oh, I just need to check in on my besties. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
What are you up
comforting.
to right now?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's comforting, and you don't, if you're reading one of those books that is like spine tingling, or you just gotta know what happens, you end up reading till 3:30 in the morning, and then you got to be up at 7, but a nice comforting, cozy read that you can just go, oh, we've decorated the mantle, let me just go to sleep now, we'll pick
Yeah.
that back up tomorrow. A quiet, I call that a quiet read, where you
Yes.
don't feel the need to read all night, but
Yes.
That's
quiet read.
nice. That's nice. I like that term.
Those are the ones that we'd like to do regularly and summarize
Yes.
when we have busy lives.
Yes.
Quiet.
Okay. Is it time for if you liked this, try this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have one to suggest, Annie?
I do. Let me. Oh, let me just use my phone. I forgot to bring it up, but I know which one. It's the one you get when you subscribe to Miss Gail's newsletter. You get what's it called? Marine biology, and it. Let me just get the summary off of Goodreads. And so it is the prequel to her San Andreas shifters, which the San Andreas shifters, what or she writes them as GL Carriger, and that's she says when it's GL it's spicier. But this little short story does not have any of that. So it's just lovely. So here is the summary from Goodreads. A short tale of seduction, selkies, and sushi. Alex is a werewolf with problems. He's unexpectedly alive. He's quite definitely gay, and he's been ordered into a partnership with one very flirty merman. And this sweet short love story, New York best-selling author Gail Carriger brings her comedic voice to contemporary fiction. Language, yeah, that's most of it. But it's just it's a sweet little story. It's the setup of the San Andreas shifters, and you meet Marvin the merman, who I absolutely adore. Marvin has impeccable style, and I just love him. So
Such an
which
unromantic name for a merman. Marvin. I love it.
Marvin the merman. Marvin the merman. I love Marvin. So yeah, it's a nice, sweet story, and if you want to read the rest of that series, I mean, you would have to, and you not a fan of spicy times, you would need to skim a little bit, but it would be worth your while because wink, wink, there might be a mention of somebody we know.
I know. I need to read them. Everyone stop looking at me like that. I know.
It would be worth your while, Amanda. That's all I'm saying.
I know. I am aware.
You're aware. She's aware. She's aware. So
Claire, what do you
While
have?
Amanda recesses the life choices, I'm going to give you mine.
Okay.
Okay, so mine is actually book short. It's a short story, and it's 11.5 in the series, and it's an ongoing series, and it's the Chronicles of St. Mary series, which I know Annie knows very well. I'm recommending the audio of The Haunted Room because it's a Christmas story. It's not romantic. And you also don't really need to know what's gone on in the Chronicles of St. Mary's before that to read this one. So it's a nice way to dip into it. Um, and have an alternative Christmas thing. And like Romancing the Werewolf, it's got an audiobook as well. So you can just put it on and a couple of hours later and you've got some festive satisfaction in your ear holes. So it's the audio of The Haunted Room by Jodie Taylor. And like I said, it is part of the Chronicles of St. Mary's series. It is a book 11.5, but don't worry about that. So, summary from Goodreads: A Christmas Ghost Story, Chronicles of St. Mary style, for fans of Doctor Who and Jasper Fforde, and A Christmas Carol. Where better for the annual festive jump than the chance to experience a real Victorian Christmas? On the longest night of 1895, a terrible storm rages above Harwood Hall. Max, Markham, and an injured Peterson are welcomed in by the Harewood family, but quickly realise that the gathering is far from celebratory. For tonight marks the ordeal of the haunted room. Dum dum dum. Every
Wow.
Harewood heir must endure one terrifying night alone in the haunted room. Dum dum dum. Before he can inherit the family seat. Legend says that the ghosts will murder anyone who isn't the true heir. Francis Harewood's ordeal will begin at midnight and at dawn, but it isn't long before everything goes horribly wrong. Dum dum dum. And I'm putting in the dum dum dums because if you read it, it does dum 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 a lot. It's very funny.
I was just looking at that because I was thinking I meant to do it this year and it just didn't happen. I want to reread all the short stories, and also I'm coming, big 60th birthday next year, and I'm coming up with my 60 top books or favorites, whatever. And I'm like, well, I want St. Mary's to be recognized,
Mm.
but I don't think that, I don't want to just pick one out of the middle of the series. And they just all kind of go together. So I was looking at the Christmas one. So I think my representative St. Mary's story might be that one, Claire.
It's one of my favorites. I re-listen to all of the Christmas Chronicles of St. Mary's every year, and I've just finished doing Santa Grint last night, which is the Time Police one, which is another like side series. So I listen to them every year. I've listened to them loads, and I really
I
like this
did
one because it's very traditional Christmas story in that it's a haunted, ghost story, but
ghost story.
it's not. It's just it's quirky. It's quirky.
I did list Santa Grant was the one I did get to this year, so it's a good one too.
Yeah. What have you got, Amanda?
Something wildly different from everyone else. I
Bloody American
actually,
abrasiveness.
I know. I chose
Won't
this
start a
one
cult.
because I will start a cult, thank you. I chose this one because of the new and indie spotlight that I chose. Um, so they both go together. The one I'm recommending has already come out, and it is called Lightfall by Ed Crocker. And like I said, I chose this one because of the new indie spotlight. They have to go together. For centuries, vampires freely roamed the land until the Greys came out of nowhere, wiping out half the population in a night. The survivors fled to the last vampire city of First Light, where the rules are simple. If you're poor, you drink weak blood. If you're nobility, you get the good stuff. And you can never, ever leave. Palace maid Sam has had enough of these rules, and she's definitely had enough of cleaning the bedpans of the lords who enforce them. When the son of the city's ruler is murdered and she finds the only clue to his death, she seizes the chance to blackmail her way into a better class and better blood. She falls in with the Leeches, a group of rebel maids who rein in the worst of the lords. Soon, she's in league with a sorcerer whose deductive skills make up for his lack of magic, a deadly werewolf assassin, and a countess who knows a city's worth of secrets. There's just one problem. What began as a murder investigation has uncovered a vast conspiracy by the ruling elite, and now Sam must find the truth before she becomes another victim. If she can avoid getting murdered, she might just live forever.
That sounds good.
Right?
That's really
Um,
fun, actually.
yeah, this is a set that we have gotten in our emails from
Cool.
publishers, so that's very cool. So then the second one that comes out next year, it comes out in June, is called Moonfall. The revolution is here, but in the Everlands, nothing comes easy. In the last vampire city of First Light, the rebels know the truth about the Greys, but nothing has changed. Sam has a plan to bring the whole rotten city down, a plan of peace, not violence. But in this city, the best laid plans have a way of falling apart, and she'll need the help of the city's ex-ruler and former enemy if she's to avoid a bloodbath. Meanwhile, in the Wolflands, Jacob, Sage, and Raven must seek help from the wolves. But when a murder is committed, the land threatens to descend into war, and unless the culprit is found, they might not escape with their lives. But with a long list of suspects and a long set of claws out for them, the odds don't look good. And then there's Nurus Sinashan. Sorry, I butchered that one. History's most dangerous sorcerer has decided it's finally time to tell his secrets and the truth about the humans, but the truth will come at a price. When the dust has settled and the bodies are counted, only one thing is certain: the Everlands will never be the same again.
Is it a duology?
I am not sure, but there's only book 1 out so far, so
Interesting.
we'll have to read it to see if it wraps up. Or we'll have to wait, fingers crossed, for another one. Get another email. I don't know. But anyway, that brings us to the end of this episode of Fictional Hangover, the last one of 2025, and a very special wrap-up. I'm Amanda.
Yes. I'm Claire.
And I'm SuperFan Annie.
That was
Thank you for having me. It was lovely.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Join us next time as we discuss Pizza Witch by Sarah Grayley and Steph Purnans. Look out for our Would You Rather polls and monthly challenges on social media. Don't forget about our book club on Discord. Be sure to visit our shop on Redbubble at fictionalhangover.redbubble.com for all your favorite Fictional Hangover themed merchandise, and become a patron of ours on Patreon like SuperFan Annie at patreon.com/fictionalhangover. Until next time, remember, the only cure for a fictional hangover is another book.